Yesterday, I pointed out that Bitcoin was looking a little bit perky and that we were forming an inverse head and shoulders pattern. This morning, it has broken out. It's looking really good right now. But it doesn't matter what Bitcoin is doing. It matters what Ethereum and XRP are doing, because those are the two things. They're going to drive the altcoin market and cause some significant profits in the next bull run. And I've made some changes today to my current open trades. I've actually closed a Bitcoin trade and I've opened a new trade. I'm going to show you that trade in today's video, as well as showing you a change that I've made to an existing trade that I had open. And it's all starting to heat up. It was lovely to see everybody in the comment section of yesterday's video. Bit of a rare occurrence for people to pull themselves out of their holes and say hello in the comment section. So I do appreciate that in yesterday's video. Please do the same again today. It helps out so much with the video algorithm. And at the same time, do drop a like on this video. It means a lot to me. It helps out so much growing the channel, everything like that. Yesterday we grew by another 50 subscribers, so thank you very much to all these new people coming on board. It's lovely to see the industry starting to grow again. And don't forget, recommend my channel to your friends, your neighbors, your cats, your dogs. I'd appreciate it. It really does help spreading the word, because of course YouTube doesn't like to help crypto YouTube channels, because YouTube doesn't like crypto, because it's owned by Google. Ironically, Google is investing heavily into cryptocurrency technology, but that's another story for another day. Today, it's time to discuss the price of Bitcoin, the price of Ethereum, the price of XRP, and the crypto news, as well as, of course, touching on altcoins and XTP that is doing pretty well today. So, slap a like, subscribe, and let's crack on with today's video. Now, looking first of all at the price of Bitcoin, $30,370 is heading to the upside. Yesterday's live stream, I pointed out that we had this inverse head and shoulders pattern that was likely to yield a break to the upside, and that has yielded a very nice break to the upside. But I have now closed my Bitcoin trade. I don't have the Bitcoin trade open anymore. Instead, I've got a phantom trade open, a 368,000 phantom trade worth $96,000, currently $142 in a loss, but that's because I've only just opened this trade. And the reason why I've taken this trade here on phantom is because, I mean, you can trade this on BYBIT, by the way. You'll find a link for BYBIT in today's video description. I've also made a change to this trade right here, and we're going to get to that in just a second, but I'd recommend trading phantom on BYBIT because the fees are really cheap compared to other exchanges. I just have some liquidity in this exchange right here that I'm using to trade it with. But if we look on the phantom daily chart here, and we look at how phantom has performed, it is down bad, and it is actually a really good product, a really good project with, I think, a lot of potential. It tends to be that phantom is always one of the top gainers for any altcoin coming out of any kind of bearish period of time. Phantom tends to pump 20, 30, 40% in a day generally. They have a really good marketing department. And when those pumps happen, they are genuinely quite significant. You get a 20% pump on only a $96,000 trade. That's $20,000 profit is that. Whereas for Bitcoin to make a $20,000 profit on a $100,000 trade, you need Bitcoin's price to move a lot. So it's less likely to happen. And so from my perspective, I'm in altcoins right now. I think that altcoins are to the play to be making. And I just want to show you, if we measure some of the previous price action from previous run-ups from when bottoms have been formed. If we measure here, in the span of 2 days, the pump to the upside was worth 30%. After a couple of more days, after only 3 days, it was worth 57%. After, how many days is that now? After 7 days, it was worth 74%. When phantom comes out of these bearish periods of time, it tends to rally very significantly. I want to be in for that pump. You get a 74% pump on a 100K trade. You make 74 grand. That's the play to make from my perspective anyway. And that's why I like to make money, because you end up with some significantly good volatility that's very favorable. The other change that I've made today, as well as closing the Bitcoin trade, opening the phantom trade, is actually I've increased the size of my Ethereum trade here. Now it's $811,000. Why have I done that? Well, you might say, well, Jordan, actually, we're still below this level of resistance. And you would be entirely correct in saying that. You would be 100% correct. And of course, I will stop myself out of this trade just a little bit if we do drop to the downside at all here. I am still not 1000% confident in this trade, but I want to be averaged in to a big trade here on Ethereum as low as possible, because I believe, based on all my analysis that I've been completing now for the past few weeks, that this here is going to break to the upside. And when it breaks to the upside, the minimum target for Ethereum sits here at $2,200. That's a 10% pump. A 10% pump on $800,000 is, you guessed it, another $81,000. So that could potentially be $160,000 worth of profits in the next few days. That's what I'm looking at right now. it needs to happen, of course. Like, you can't just rely on these things happening. It does actually need to happen. But it tends to be that heading into a weekend, we have these significant amounts of volatility. And this week, it's been a pretty flat week for the crypto markets. They've not really done an awful lot. So given that we've not had a lot of price volatility this week, it's been pretty flat, pretty boring. Nothing's been happening. It just goes every now and again and drops to the downside and then slowly builds back up. When you've got this slowly building price action, it shows you've got slow acquisition of new crypto users, new crypto assets, and money coming into the market. These to the downsides, that's old holders getting out. So you have this transfer of wealth that's going on at these levels, and I just think it's coming to an end. These rising back to the upsides are getting stronger and stronger. If you look at this, you've got like one or two guys sell, and then another couple of guys sell, but then they buy it back instantly. And then you've got this selling pressure, and then they buy it back. And then you've got here the fast sell, and then a slow buyback, but it's starting to look better and better and better is all of this. I'm confident in the price of Ethereum right now. I think that $1,200 is back on the cards. I think it's going to happen. At the same time, for Bitcoin is looking strong. Bitcoin is looking, honestly, so good. If you look at the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin, we have to break back through this level of resistance right here. Bitcoin is going to break through this level of resistance here at 30,400. Yeah, of course, it needs to break. I mean, to be honest, there isn't really that much of a level of resistance anymore at 30,500. I'd say the key level here is sitting at 30,400. If we're managing to break and close hourly candles above $30,400, we can expect Bitcoin's price to rally back up here to around $31,000. And that's around a 5% price increase. But at the same time as Bitcoin having a 5% price increase, why am I so bullish on the price of Ethereum? Well, because I expect that Ethereum is going to have a 5% price increase against Bitcoin on the Bitcoin value of Ethereum that you can see up here. If Ethereum rises in value against Bitcoin at the same time as Bitcoin is rising in price, you can end up with some astronomical gains on the charts. If we look here at the 1-hour chart for Ethereum, yeah, Ethereum had a bit of a drop down the other day. But at the same time, putting it into perspective, it is just one big bull flag. And I think that Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin in these bullish scenarios here. I mean, so far today, it's actually up against Bitcoin. If you look here, it's up 0.13%. So it's just marginally up. But I think that XRP is leading the charge here. XRP is actually technically down today. It seems to be as well that when XRP pumps, then people take profit on it. And when people take profit on XRP, the price of Bitcoin has been rising. So from that perspective as well, I'm quite pleased. I think that the entire crypto market is looking healthier than what it was doing. This is the stock market, and the stock market again rising day after day after day. It's good to see. And how is the value of the US dollar getting on today? Well, the value of the US dollar is rising. No, it's not. It's falling. It's still falling. It's still looking. It's just tussling with this level of support here. And it will break to the downside. That's when bull market begins, and that's when bull market ends. And we've dropped back into this kind of bull market beginning phase here. It's only a matter of time at this point. Bitcoin halving. I mean, in fact, I can bring up the Bitcoin halving clock and we can assess when Bitcoin halving is. The next Bitcoin halving is in 271 days on April the 16th. So in less than a year, Bitcoin halving is going to take place. That fundamentally changes Bitcoin. It makes it such a more investable asset class because it's more scarce now and there'll be less supply. The less supply, increasing demand, price increases. Every Bitcoin halving in the past, and I've pointed it on the channel before, but every single Bitcoin halving ever has resulted in Bitcoin's price going up at least 20 times from the bottom. Every single one. The last one was 20 times. The one before that was 100 times, and the one before that was like 1,000 times. So if you did work out that, say, it's been devised by a multiple of 2 each time. I mean, this time round, maybe it goes up 10 times from the bottom. That'll be $160,000 Bitcoin. I think it'll go up 20 times from the bottom, meaning that Bitcoin, because the bottom was around $16,000, I think the Bitcoin in the next bull market is going to at least $300,000, but that remains to be seen. Overall, though, markets are looking really good right now, including the price here of XTP. If you look at this is the price of XTP. XTP's price is back up at 20 Satoshis today. It's actually been up at 21 Satoshis. It's currently trading between 21 here and 20 here. The support in the price chart is astronomical. So much support. In terms of resistance, there is really marginal amounts of resistance here. Not a whole lot of resistance in the charts. The prices are really starting to pick up. And I think that today is a day where XTP is finally going to start moving to the upside. So that's pretty exciting as well. Keep your eyes peeled on the price chart for XTP. I'll be updating you here on the channel as well. Do drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it so far, because now it's time to discuss the cryptocurrency news. With Tesla still holding $184 million worth of Bitcoin it's good. I mean, they've not sold it. That's pretty good news. And at the same time, the SEC has published 6 new Bitcoin ETF proposals on the Federal Register, showing that when one Bitcoin ETF gets approved, it tends to be that a bunch of them get approved. When they approved a futures Bitcoin ETF, they approved a bunch of them. When the BlackRock ETF gets approved, they will approve so many more ETFs. This means that if each ETF is a fund that is trading with only $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, they have to then go out and acquire that Bitcoin for that fund to trade. That means that institutions then have access to trading non-custodial Bitcoin, which is good. But at the same time, say each fund is pledging $1 billion for their ETF. That means that if you've got 6 Bitcoin ETFs, that's $6 billion worth of buying pressure. Bitcoin's market cap would be affected pretty severely by a $6 billion buy pressure in order to even kickstart the ETFs. And then they've got to do marketing for the ETFs. And all of this marketing that they'll do for the ETFs will then positively affect the price of Bitcoin as well. This market is only just getting started. And then the final thing in today's cryptocurrency news would be an opinion from one of our writers here. XRP will eventually exit out Tether from the number 3 spot. What do you think? Do you think that XRP can overtake Tether? Read this article. I'd be interested to know your thoughts on it. Leave them down in the comment section. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. If you are interested in trading, check out the BYBIT trading tutorial that you'll see on the screen right now. Have a fantastic day. Trade safe. Trade sensible. Nothing in this video is financial advice. Do your own research and have a fantastic day. Drop a like. Goodbye.